Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman, and we're going to take a look at the 5 races on the Sunshine Millions card at Gulfstream Park for Saturday. Nice array of races here, 2 on the turf, 3 on the main track. We'll start on the main with the sprint it's the 5th race, 4-year-olds and up at 6 furlongs, and I thought Happy My Way kind of stood out to me in here. And he's won 4 or 5 at Gulfstream, made it even better. So I'm just going to take a strong stand on Happy My Way and use him with Grand Shores and Sam Sparkle. How about you?
Well, you made it sound pretty simple, didn't you? It is. Happy My Way is by far the class of the race. 4 for 5 at Gulfstream, 4 for 9 at distance. And the only thing I can say against him is he didn't run very well in the Vosburg last year, and they put him off for about 6 weeks and came back in the DeFrancis at Laurel and got beat by a nice horse, Steve Brothers. So I think he's probably the class of the race, probably going to be 3 to 5. And I was going to do a cold exact with Grand Shores. I think Grand Shores has a shot to knock him off if he's not ready, because Grand Shores is trending upward on buyers. Has won 2 in a row. Zayas is a good jockey, and Grand Shores is 3 for 12 at Gulfstream with 5 seconds. So I think that Grand Shores has a chance, but I would probably just do a cold exact to Happy My Way over Grand Shores 1-2.
6th race, Sunshine Millions Turf, 4-year-olds and up. These are all 4 and up, and this one's done a mile on the 16th on the grass. And I did not have a strong opinion in here. How about you?
Yeah, it's not quite as simple, is it? I took a look at a couple of speed horses in here that it seems to be a little bit too short for a couple of horses. Reporting Star probably likes a lot more distance, better at 1.5 miles and 1.8 miles, but has a lot of early speed. I don't know how he'll show it from outside in this shorter race, but I kind of liked him a little bit. I thought Manchurian High had the same problem. He's better at longer distances. So you got a couple horses in here that I think you can kind of eliminate because of the distance. So what I did is I wound up on one speed horse that likes the distance, and then I liked another horse to come and get him. Iron Power was my best speed horse here at this distance. 5 good races in a row with a 102 buyer last out at Aqueduct on the turf. But the horse I like that I think it sets up for is Bad Debt. And Bad Debt has raced against better, stretching out for 7.5 furlongs. I think he'll be ready for this. Finished 3 lengths behind Miss a Wish in the El Prado a few weeks ago, and that was a nice race with Escaper in there as well. So I'm going to take Bad Debt on top. I'm thinking that Iron Power, Decisive Moment, Reporting Star all want the lead. So I'm going to do 6 with 8, 9, 10 with all for my trifecta.
You know, what are the odds on a wide open race that we'd end up on the same horse? I took Bad Debt as well. I like that last race. You mentioned the horse Mishovish that came back and won last weekend. And I think you had that one. And then seems to be in good form since going to a new barn and has run well at Gulfstream. So I think you maybe get a little value here. So I ended up with Bad Debt as well, and I just would play a 4-horse exacta box, and I liked 3 that you didn't mention. One's Manchurian High. I'm going to just maybe hit the board, so I'm throwing him in there, and then the 5 Hobbs for a price, and the 3 Best Plan Yet. But it's not a real strong opinion there for me. 8th race is the Distaff at 7 furlongs. Pretty good group here. Wildcat Lily, I like last time. She almost got home at 18-1. I think she could be kind of salty in here. But I ended up going to the Pletcher horse, Dame Dorothy. Pletcher Stable's just been so good at the meet. And this horse, the only time it ran 7 furlongs and the only time it ran at Gulfstream Park were both the same day, and it won. And I think maybe she's ready off a brief layoff to run well. Devil's Cave, I think, merits respect as well as Wildcat Lily, and then I would include my pal Chrissy as well. But I'm going to key all of those with Dame Dorothy, the 11. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going to assume Dame Dorothy is also entered in the filly mare turf, but I'm assuming that she's going to go here.
Yeah, I kind of thought she would too.
I think she's got a real shot here. I don't know that she's got a shot in the other one, so I think she's got a shot here. But I went with Devil's Cave. 12-hole doesn't do a lot for me, but I think Mott, they brought her back in the $100,000 stakes race on November, and she didn't run very well with a couple of these near Swingers Party and Flutter By. But I think if you go back to the La Troyenne at Churchill and the Rampart at Gulfstream Park, she's got a lot of early speed, and I think Rosario is going to put her in the race from outside, and Mott gets them ready off the layoff. So I'm going to take Devil's Cave on top. I think Dave Northey has a real shot at Wildcat Lily, the 2. With the inside draw, Paco Lopez just might take her to the lead, and she might be hard to catch because you got the other speed on the outside. And the other horse for the back class was Toasting, the 5, 2 for Gulfstream and Castellano. But Devil's Cave would be my choice, but I would use the horses you mentioned plus Toasting.
And then we'll go to the 9th race. That's the filly and mare turf at a mile and a 16th on the turf. I took Pink Poppy in here. Ran well in the first time for Wolfson, and then the next time got kind of a wide trip. So both starts have been good. Le Peru takes the mount here, and I think he's a really good fit on a horse that'll be running late. So I'm going to use Pink Poppy and key her with the 6 Waterway Run, the 7 Rock On Baby, the 3 Speed Seeker, who we saw in the QE2 here at Keeneland for Joan Scott back in the fall. But Pink Poppy, number 2, is the one I'm going with in the 9th at Gulfstream. How about you?
I went with Speed Seeker, and that's exactly what I looked at when I looked at her pattern. Last year, she got really good. She won a Grade 3 at Woodbine by 4 3/4, and Joan brought her to the QE2, and she goes off at 6-1.
Yeah,
and didn't run badly, but jumped up from a Grade 3 at Woodbine to the best race in the fall at Keeneland. Came back in Mrs. Revere, and she was competitive, but was out wide, and then came back a few weeks ago at Tampa and ran big in an optional 32. So her buyers are 77, 81, 86. She threw a 95 in the Ontario Cotillion last year at Woodbine. So I think that if she's back to that form, I think she's got a real shot here. And I like a horse coming out of the QE2 and Mrs. Revere back to this level of listed stakes. So I'm going to take Speed Seeker on top of the 3, Waterway Run, the one that you mentioned with Castellano and Chad Brown. Awesome Flower, the 8 with Maker and Rosario. And if Dame Dorothy goes in here, she's got a shot to get the money, I think. But I think she's probably going to go to the 8s. But Speed Seeker is my choice here, the horse coming out of the Churchill and Keeneland races.
10th race is the Classic at a mile and an 1/8. And you've got a horse like Transparent that's running against state breds for the first time. Just reading in the racing form, Kieran McLaughlin thinks he's doing really well. You got a horse from the Derby Trail last year in Wildcat Red. How did you see the Classic?
And you got a horse that Nick Zito gelded.
Yeah.
Gelded and went off at 17-1 first time gelding and threw a 96 buyer at him at Gulfstream and been training unbelievably. So I think after 17 lifetime starts, they finally figured out how to
less
move
is more.
Cowboy up. Yeah. So I think Catholic Cowboy has a shot. I mean, it doesn't bounce off that 96 buyer, but Zito's a great trainer, and I think Catholic Cowboy is going to get overlooked here a little bit. Wildcat Red is going to get overbet. He's 5 for 8 at Gulfstream. He's been off since November the 8th, and they are not pointing for this race, not by any stretch of imagination. I think Transparent probably is a better bet. The Cigar Mile, he got off to a bad start, was never really in the race, and they didn't really persevere with him. So I'm going to take Catholic Cowboy at a little bit of a price here with the 6 horse and using with Transparent and Wildcat Red, hoping Zito found the magic with Catholic Cowboy.
I ended up going with Wildcat Red mainly just because he loves Gulfstream Park and he's working lights out. And your point about looking for bigger races is a good one. But I'm going to speed down there at Gulfstream, and he loves it. I'm just going to take a shot that he fires a big one off the layoff. Catholic Cowboy I definitely would use with him, and Transparent, probably one with East Hall as well. But I'll single or key on Wildcat Red and use him with those others. Going into horizontal wagers, I think I'd want to have Transparent, Catholic Cowboy, and Wildcat Red. I'd want to have all 3 of those to feel confident going into the last leg of a horizontal wager. Still got the Friday contest going on?
We do. Every Friday night last weekend, we had a kind of a light crowd because Turfway canceled. But this Friday, we've actually got 5 tracks. Fairgrounds runs a night card Friday night. So their first post is at 6 o'clock. So you've got probably 30 races to choose from between 6 o'clock and 9:45. So you got Fairgrounds, Penn National, Turfway, the last few at Santa Anita and Golden Gate, and Delta Downs. So, and Fairgrounds got a nice card Friday night. So we do have those every Friday night in January. Stakes races are getting better on the weekends, obviously. So you can come out to Keeneland simulcasting. We've got all of our brand new flat screen TVs up on the second, third floor. We were relocating people for a while, and we appreciate the patience that people showed during the month of December. But we've got all new flat screens up on the walls in the second and third floor, so the TV coverage is a whole lot better out there.
Good deal. Just on Friday nights, that's the handicapping contest out at Keeneland for simulcasting. And then make sure you always are funded with your Keeneland Select account so you're ready there as well. For Jim Goodman, it's Tom Leach. Best of luck this weekend. This is the End the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.